What's up, everybody? Bad Tracy back again for another episode of First Time Views and Reviews, where I, Bad Tracy, review movies for you, the viewer, to watch, I guess. And yeah, cue the music. Do 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 do. I'm back. So first off, I wanted to show this off. I got this in the mail today off Amazon. It was only like $30. It's like 33 with shipping and handling. It's great. Super cheap, but it's damaged, so I'm going to return it and get it replaced. Or maybe I can't get it replaced. So I might have to, I don't know. Anyways, I want to show this thing off. This is awesome. It's the Watchmen Collector's Edition. You can see at the top there, it changes from, that's the movie, to the comic book. The graphic novel, I guess. There's the back of this if you want to read that. But yeah, because it opens right here, so it's busted, so that really sucks. But so it opens up like this. There's the book. It's got a little painting, and you, and it's the hardcover graphic novel. I already have the paperback, and then there's the Blu-ray actually. So this thing's pretty sweet. Really sucks that it's damaged. But yeah, this thing's really cool, so I thought I'd show that off before we got into the review portion of this. Alright, so in this episode I have a lot of stuff that I've watched off Netflix or in theaters, so I'm going to be having a lot of posters right here. So first up though, we talked about the movie Sing. It's by Illumination Studios, the same people that did Despicable Me and Minions and stuff like that. So I remember the trailers for this when it came out and everything. I just never saw it. Didn't really have an interest in it, but then I saw it on Netflix and I was like, you know, I'll watch it. You know, it looked okay. And I ended up really liking it. Like, yeah, I ended up really liking Sing. So basically, it's an animated film about a koala bear voiced by Matthew McConaughey, who owns a theater, and basically he doesn't have enough money to pay for this theater anymore. So he's going to put on one last show to make all of this money that he needs, you know, to pay back the bank and get his theater back. Well, he is going to give a $1,000 grand prize out to the winner of his competition or whatever. But then the flyers accidentally say $100,000 to the winner. So it becomes this whole big hoorah. And yeah, and it's a pretty comical movie. I mean, I really enjoyed it for what it was. It's just a fun little animated movie. Not as good as Despicable Me by any means, but it's definitely worth a watch, and I really enjoyed it. Not much else to say about that one, but I do give it a plus on my rating scale, which is minus plus or plus plus. Next up, I watched Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark, and this movie was it was ridiculous. I didn't like it. I'll say that right at the start. I did not like this movie at all. It was really bad. But it's from the Asylum, so that's why I checked it out, because I do like some of the Asylum films, even though they're pretty shitty. I do enjoy them. Found out this is the second in a trilogy. I guess it's like Mega Shark versus some other kind of shark. Then it's like Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark. Then it's like a whole series now, I guess. But so basically this one was about the Mega Shark. Obviously is still around. So then they have to build a Mecha Shark, which is like the same size as the Mega Shark, but it's a metal like submarine that has torpedoes on it. It's stupid, alright? It's very dumb. It's got Christopher Judge, Debbie Gibson, and Elizabeth Rahm in it. And like Debbie Gibson's character pilots the submarine, and she's going to be marrying Christopher Judge, or maybe they are married. Wasn't really sure. And then he kept trying to smoke in the submarine, and every time he tried to smoke, she'd be like, "Don't be smoking." And then they had like this AI in the submarine that talks to them, and then he ends up like getting reprogrammed or hacked, and he turns into an evil AI, and he takes over the submarine. And oh no, it's the Mecha Shark attacking things. So then they used the Mega Shark to attack the Mecha Shark. It was stupid. It was stupid. I didn't enjoy it. I don't know. I shouldn't say I hated it, because it's really dumb, but it's dumb in a sci-fi channel movie type way. I mean, it is the Asylum, so you know they do put effort into things. It's just I didn't enjoy this one at all. So I give it a minus on the plus scale, or the rating scale. So there's a minus right there for that one. So next up, I got two. That's right, two. Not one, not fucking three, but two. Two stand-up comedy specials for you. First one I watched was Judd Apatow, The Return, posted right here, and this one was great, actually. You know, Judd Apatow, he hasn't done stand-up since he was 24, so this was 25 years in the making of him returning to stand-up. He said he only did it from ages 17 to 24. Never really made it big, but obviously, as most of you people know, if you're on this channel, listening to me talk about movies, you obviously know who Judd Apatow is. You might even say he made it to the big times. I mean, he did make that one movie with that, that fat Jew. So, that's success. But all jokes aside, because it's stand-up comedy. Shucks. So anyways, yeah, so this was Judd Apatow, The Return. It was him returning to stand-up, and this was great, actually. I'm not a huge fan of stand-up specials, but I have been watching more of them recently, mainly just because they're on Netflix, and I like to get high and watch things that will make me laugh. So yeah, I watched this one, and it was great. Really relatable, even though he's like 25 years older than me, and most of his jokes are about having kids and stuff like that, and having families, but I don't know. It was just really funny. Especially, there's a few parts that made me laugh really, really hard. Didn't like his jokes towards the end of his set. But he had this great one about his daughter talking with her vagina. It's fucking hilarious. Definitely check the stand-up special out. Judd Apatow, The Return. The poster's right here. Check this one out if you have Netflix, because it's only like an hour long. It's definitely worth it. It's absolutely great. Oh, and I give it a plus on the rating system. Plus right there. Next up, I watched Dana Carvey, Straight White Male, 60. That's what it's called. I had to look down and see what I wrote because I didn't remember the name. So it's Dana Carvey, Straight White Male, 60 is what it's called. It's this new stand-up special. Maybe it's not new. It's been on Netflix for a while. I'm not sure. But I'm a huge Dana Carvey fan, though. I mean, obviously, I love the Wayne's World movies. Everybody loves those. I was a huge fan of him on SNL. I love Master of Disguise. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, even though it has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, or actually it has a 1%. My bad. But absolutely love that movie. Always been a big fan of Dana Carvey. He recently was in a voice role in The Secret Life of Pets. Really enjoyed that movie. But I did not enjoy this stand-up special very much. It was very political at the beginning, which, I mean, can be, like, it can be funny, but just wasn't what I was, aiming for when I was watching this. I don't know. But yeah, it was really political, and he did a lot of impressions, which I do love. He's very good at impressions. But just some were kind of hit or miss, and I don't know. I was expecting more, and I was kind of let down. But I did overall enjoy this, and there were some very funny parts. Just overall, didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I did the Judd Apatow special. But yeah, still check this one out, because I did enjoy it, just not as much. So I give this one a plus. Not a plus, but a plus. Next up, I watched Chloe and Theo. This was a Dollar Tree movie I picked up, so I didn't have high hopes for this one. Some of the dollar store movies you get, turn out to be pretty okay. This one was not one of those. So, Chloe and Theo tells a story of Theo. He's an Inuit from the Arctic, and basically his elder tells him, hey, the polar ice caps are melting. Fucking people down there are fucking shit up. Go down there and tell them that. So he walks this huge journey to New York City, and he's trying to tell the elders, like, hey, you need to stop polluting the world, because we're all gonna die. And nobody will listen to him. Well, then he meets this homeless chick, Chloe, who thinks Theo's a great guy. And she tries to help him spread his word out through the world. And they meet this reporter and a journalist who wants to help Theo, and his story becomes this huge, big thing. And yeah, I mean, it has a great story to it. The movie could have been great. I love the meaning behind the story. I love the overall plot of the story. But just, there was a lot of things left to be desired in this movie. The acting, for one, was poor. This guy, Theo, I don't know if he's a real actor or not. he wasn't very good in this. But if this is his only thing, that's understandable. But he wasn't very good. So, but Dakota Johnson, I feel like I've seen her in things, just don't like recognize her. But yeah, I don't know. The acting was poor in this. The cinematography was really bad. There were some weird shots, and the dialogue felt kind of, I don't know, lame. There's a couple characters that just, you were like, oh, they didn't really need to be in this movie. I don't know. A lot of things fighting against this. Has 0% Rotten Tomatoes. But, I don't know. It's not a movie I'd watch again. I enjoyed watching it, but I didn't like it, and I wouldn't watch it again. I liked the overall story of the movie and everything, but I did not like it. It was written and directed by Esna Sands. And it was executive produced by Sir Richard Branson. But, yeah. I don't know, it was rated PG-13 for brief violence, by the way. Didn't know that. But, yeah, I give this one a minus. Because I did not like this movie. Next up is another movie I watched on Amazon. Here's the poster. It's called Absolutely Anything with Simon Pegg. It's also got a couple different actresses and actors. The voice of Robin Williams. Rob Riggle's in it. Some other people, I'm just forgetting their names. I'm sorry. I don't have notes for a lot of the Netflix ones I watch. But I really enjoyed this one. So I just watched this the other night. Oh, it's got the Monty Python cast also as a group of aliens. So basically, this group of aliens find a transmission from Earth. And so these alien races, after they find a new planet, to test if the planet is good or evil or whatever, to destroy it or to save the planet, they give one person from that planet the power to do absolutely anything. Anything at all. Anything you can think of, you wave your hand and it is done. You can do absolutely anything, as the movie title says. So, Simon Pegg gets this. You know, he ends up making his dog talk. It's the voice of Robin Williams. And the dog is hilarious in this movie. It's exactly how you would think a dog would talk if a dog could talk. Except Bella, because she's a lazy dog and she wouldn't act like the dog in this movie. But, regardless of that, this was hilarious. It has, like, mixed to negative reviews, but I really enjoyed it. It's like, so Simon Pegg's a struggling author who's also a teacher. He's trying to get his book published and all this. He, you know, has a crush on the girl that lives in the apartment down below him. All this, I don't know. It has a really good storyline overall, and I really liked the jokes. I thought it was really well done, really funny. There were a few things that were hit or miss, but overall, I really loved this movie. It was also the last movie that Robin Williams was a part of. It's only a voice role, but still, it's his last movie. Yeah, definitely check this one out on Netflix if you got it. I gave it a plus. It's honestly one of the funniest movies I've watched in a long time. And John Cleese and the Monty Python crew as the aliens, absolutely hilarious. There's this really funny gag where they have female names throughout the movie. So, yeah, check this movie out if you haven't seen it, because it's really good. Next up, I watched Stickman. This was recommended to me by a coworker, so it was only like $5 on Amazon, so I ordered it right away, got it, and watched it. And not at all what I was expecting. I was expecting like an animated movie, but it's only like a 23-minute, like BBC, PBS type claymation, stop motion, like Christmas story. And so it's only 23 minutes long, so, you know, it's like a TV special. And it's got Hugh Bonneville, Martin Freeman, Jennifer Saunders as the voices. Martin Freeman portrays Stickman. And basically it's about Stickman who lives in a tree with his wife and his beautiful stick children 3. And he's just trying to get home to his tree, but he keeps getting carried away farther and farther away from this tree. A dog picks him up and takes him. A chick throws him into a river. Like, he just keeps getting farther and farther away, and it's basically his journey through the seasons and getting back to his family. And it was a real good, heartwarming Christmas tale. And I think it's probably my favorite Christmas special I've ever seen, because I'm not a big fan of Christmas specials, so I really enjoyed this. Plus on the rating scale. Check this out if you haven't seen it, because it was amazing. Alright guys, just 2 movies left to talk about. We're winding it down here, so just want to make sure you guys subscribe and give a thumbs up in this video if at all you enjoyed it. And make sure you always comment down below, letting me know what movies you've watched recently, or what do you think about my opinions on the movies I've talked about. So yeah, just wanted to give a little, you know, you gotta promote yourself somehow. I mean, so it's a whole big deal. Anyway, so next up is El Camino Christmas. Here's the poster. Just watched this one on Netflix. Came out on December 8th. It's got Dax Shepard, Vincent D'Onofrio, Tim Allen. That's the main reason we watched it. I mean, it has Tim Allen in it. What is the channel name? WYSADWTA. Would you spend a day with Tim Allen? Anyways, it's basically this guy is played by Luke Grimes, I think is the actor's name. He goes to this small town, El Camino, and he's looking for his father, who abandoned him before he was born, I think. And he goes to a small town. Vincent D'Onofrio and Dax Shepard are two small-time cops. Vincent D'Onofrio is an alcoholic dickhead, and he thinks that this kid who came into town is running methamphetamines. And so they detain him in jail for the night, and basically Vincent D'Onofrio is trying to frame him for running meth and all this, and he's like, dude, that's not true, But D'Onofrio is just a fucking douchebag of a drunk cop, and Dax Shepard's like, all right, get out of here, and he lets him go. Then D'Onofrio catches up to him, and it turns into a standoff in a gas station and against the cops, and it's this whole thing. And it was a really good movie. It was really well done. I liked it. It reminded me a lot. It had a similar vibe to a bunch of 80s films, like the Coen Brothers or Raising Arizona specifically. It had that type of vibe to it, a crime comedy type thing. And just the overall, even the cinematography and the way certain shots were set up, just really worked really well to get that 80s vibe to it, I think. Jessica Alba was also in this movie. Her character, she's like a pregnant news lady, a news anchor, and a news reporter, I think is what the term is. And her character really had nothing to do with this movie and didn't even need to be in it, to be honest. But she did her part okay. The only thing that really grinds my gears about this movie is the ending. So I won't spoil it, obviously, if you haven't seen the movie. But while you're watching it, I will say, just the ending leaves a lot to be desired with just how everything happens. But really well done movie. Really enjoyed it. Really funny. Dax Shepard's hilarious, and he's got so many good quips. Oh, and Kurtwood Smith, who's best known as Red from That 70s Show, he's also in this movie as the sheriff. And there's this pretty funny scene about it with a shootout. I won't go into details, but it's probably my favorite scene in the movie. So yeah, definitely check this one out. I give it a plus. I loved it. Gonna watch it again soon, so yeah. Last up, the main event, the movie you've all been waiting for me to talk about. I finally saw it. I finally saw it. I've been putting it off for so long. This movie came out way back in November, and I finally saw it. It's Justice League, poster right here. Went and saw Justice League finally. I wasn't very excited for this movie, especially after the colossal failure that BVS is. I loved Man of Steel. Batman vs. Superman, you saw my review of that in a past video. The movie's fucking garbage. Haven't seen Suicide Squad or Wonder Woman yet. Heard great things about Wonder Woman. Heard not so great things about Suicide Squad. But I'll get to both of those eventually. But Justice League blew all my expectations out of the water. I loved it. It was great. So, as everybody probably knows, it was kind of a box office failure when it debuted. Its opening weekend was pretty low. A very low Rotten Tomato score. Thermometer? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's 40% Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score is 81. It's really high up. And, there's the whole ordeal with Zack Snyder. He was the director, but then he had to leave production after his daughter committed suicide. So Joss Whedon came in for reshoots and some rewrites to the script and everything. It's a whole to-do. There's that petition for the Zack Snyder cut. It's not going to happen, though. But, it's Justice League. It's almost more interesting reading about the behind-the-scenes of the movie than it actually is to watch the movie. But getting into the movie, I loved it. Absolutely. Everything I was expecting blew it all away. I wasn't expecting much, because after BVS, I was like, oh, it's just going to be another emo Superman, Batman's killing people. I didn't like Ben Affleck's Batman anyways. I thought the cast wasn't very good. But after watching this movie, it was great. Ben Affleck finally felt like Batman. He just felt like Batman. It was like seeing Batman from the comic books on screen, and that's what you want in a comic book movie. Superman, much more hopeful. His character really stands for justice and, everything you'd think of Superman from the comic books. The Flash, he was pretty great. He's more comedic in the movie than he is like the Grant Gustin TV series, which I don't watch anymore. But Ezra Miller was great in this. I think he was the standout character from this movie. Just, I mean, the bit where he tripped while running, I think they did that one too many times, but it was funny the first time. And he had really funny quips, and he was kind of like, oh, jippy jolly, I'm happy to be here, and all this. And he was the new guy on the team, and he's never done battle before, and he's just, his character arc was really, really well done in this movie. I really liked him. And there's the really funny scene where they're talking to Jim Gordon, and then all the heroes disappear, but Barry, being the fastest person alive, he could be disappear like that. Like, see, you never know he's there. Ray Fisher as Cyborg really surprised me. I didn't. Cyborg was the character I was least interested in going into this movie. And that's because I'm just not a big fan of him. I've never read really many comic books with him. I know him from the Teen Titans TV series. He's great in that. But just didn't know much about Cyborg. I thought he was really well done in this movie, though. Ray Fisher knocked out of the park. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, incredible. I haven't seen Wonder Woman the movie yet, but I saw her in BVS. She was like the only good thing about BVS. But she was fantastic in this movie. All her action scenes were really well done. And then the only person I didn't really like was Arthur Curry, Jason Momoa. I don't know why. Just did not care for him. It's all right, and my man. He reminds me of the mailman from Rick and Morty. My man. I don't know. He was just like a douchebag college frat boy to me in this movie. I didn't really care for his character. But with Aquaman coming, December of next year, which is a long fucking time. It's a year away now to wait for a DC movie. That's crazy. But I'm interested to see how his character develops in the next movie. And then, J.K. Simmons was Jim Gordon. Amy Adams was back. She was alright. Diane Keaton, I think, plays Superman's mom, Martha Kent. I think it's Diane Keaton. I'm not 100% sure, though. The villain is Steppenwolf, and there's not much to say. I mean, everything about him has been said. It's way too much CGI. Way too much CGI. His character just looks really dumb. A weak plot line for the villain. Like, he didn't really have a reason to be villainous, and it was really similar to Avengers. With he's trying to get the mother boxes and collect the mother boxes and rule Earth, whatever. But overall, really enjoyed Justice League. I'm giving it a plus. I loved it. I'm actually excited for DC Extended Universe now, the DCEU. I'm excited to see where the stories go, and with new directors coming in, more stories to be told. I'm hopeful for the future. Whereas a couple years ago, if you would ask me, I wouldn't have been excited, because I just felt like Zack Snyder was just. He had control of the DCEU. It was really only Zack Snyder's vision, and I feel like stepping away from Snyder, who I'm not a hater at all. I love Zack Snyder's work. I'm not a big fan of his DCEU. But now with Jeff Johns on, and more directors coming in with new creative stories, I'm really excited to see where the future goes from here. Alright, so that was First Time Views and Reviews. As always, I'm Bat Tracy for Would You Spend a Day with Tim Allen WYSADWTA. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, anything you want. Bat Tracy01. All the links are in the description. Check out our website. Always subscribe, like, comment. You guys know the deal. Anyways, have a good day. Bye-bye. Cue the music. I just want to say Bella only barked once during filming for this, and then she has been laying right underneath me the entire time while filming. See, I'm right here, and then you go down, and there's Bella! Ah! Huge day in Carvey.